Hello everybody, Lord Almighty here. Today is Thursday, July 26th, 2018, and I'm doing a little bit of after work fishing today, and I'm changing things up a little bit because I am going for largemouth bass with a tube jig. Now, smallmouth fishermen are pretty well acquainted with tubes, but I find that they're kind of an underutilized bait for largemouths, but they absolutely will catch largemouth bass too. So that's what I'm hoping to do with this here today. I've got it on a pretty simple setup, just a Texas rig with a 1/8 ounce bullet weight, and I'm going to pitch this around and I'm going to see if I can't get any bass to tip their hat to the tube jig this evening. So guys, I would like to show you a very nifty trick to peg a sinker without using those expensive commercially available sinker stops. So here's your sinker on the line right here, and you want to take a toothpick, or in this case the end of a toothpick, and you just put the point of the toothpick into the front of the weight, and you want to kind of work it in there pretty good, and then when it's in there pretty good, you just snap it off. It's okay if there's a little bit hanging out of there, that's not going to hurt. And now you've got a sinker that will stay in place as if it had one of those expensive commercial stoppers in it. And the wood is soft enough so that it doesn't actually pinch the line. So it's not going to damage your line, and it works just as well. So you think about how much a pack of those sinker stops costs, and how much does a 500 count box of toothpicks cost. So that's a nice little money saving tip for my fellow fishermen who are on a bit of a budget. There we go. Saw him swirl on it. Alright, not bad. Not a bad fish to start. Maybe a pound or so. Alright. Got him right from the shade by the weeds. Right where they're supposed to be on a hot summer evening. There we go. Oh, he's off. Wow, that was a nice fish. That fish definitely had some weight to it. Hook just didn't stick. There we go. Come on up, come on up. Yeah! That's not a bad one. Look at this. Stop flopping around and maybe I can get that hook out of your face for you. Ah, all right. On the tube jig. They're not just for smallmouths anymore. So there's really nothing special to what I'm doing here with the tube jig. I'm working it very similar to how you would work a jig or creature bait. I'm just working vegetation and overhanging trees close to shore in the shade. And I'm just letting the bait sink to the bottom and just hopping it back. About as basic as it gets. Oh, he had that in his mouth. Dang it. I thought I was hung up on a stick. Then I saw my line moving. And I set the hook, but alas, it was too late. Maybe he'll come back and hit it since he didn't feel the hook. But I don't know if that's the way it works. There we go. Look at that. Alright. There's bass on that pipe even when there's no water coming out. Maybe it's just a really good spot in general. Alright guys, well I think that is going to end my evening. So wound up getting 5 bites, landed 3 of them, all on the tube, and considering I was only out for a couple hours in the dog days of summer, which can be traditionally a very slow time of year to fish, I'd say that was pretty darn good. And hopefully I've shown you guys that the tube jig is something that you definitely need to have in your tackle box. And I'm sure a lot of you out there have said, thank you, Lord Almighty, for giving me another damn lure I gotta lug around to my tackle box. Well, you're welcome. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you on the next adventure.